Bros and hoes, peeps and creeps, this is Bodala coming to you live from the nest. I'm going to start a new segment. This is called Make a List. It is going to be like a video game awards segment of my top 5 games in a specific list, a specific genre of gaming that I have made. It's not like, oh, top shooter, top RPG, something like that. This segment will focus on genres I make. So here, this is the one for today. It's called Over the Top Gaming. This is about games that are over the top. Have you ever played a game where you feel as if, oh, that was a little unnecessary, or oh, maybe that was just too much? They're thinking something good there, and then they went like there, and then 7 miles forward with it. Well, these are those video games, and sometimes that effect works, sometimes it's bad. These are the times when it worked really well. So, without further ado, number 5. Drum roll, please. Sounds like a very bongo drum. Dark Souls is number 5. Solely for its gameplay difficulty alone, Dark Souls has sold countless copies because it gives the gamer an opportunity to truly challenge him or herself yet again. Back in the day when you had a certain amount of lives, people slaved over things like Super Mario, saying, hey, look, I gotta finish this, I gotta beat it, I don't have enough lives, I gotta restart. And people loved that. They loved the idea of difficulty. Now, this doesn't bring back the life system, thank God, so it's a lot more user-friendly. However, it's extremely difficult. You die a lot, and you lose all of your XP when you die, and you have to go back and get it. So it's an extremely intense version of gaming. It really is. And the idea in it is that it's basically your essential fantasy RPG, but brought to life in the reality that it is. If you're going to be the one unsung hero of the generation, then it's going to be very difficult, right? You don't have any help, any support, no one else killing the bad guys, it's just you. Then you need to be more realistic about that, and Dark Souls captures that and then some. Alright, number 4. Just Cause 2. Having the greatest open world in video game to date, Just Cause 2 is one of the funnest games I have ever played, and I am still not even 50% complete with it after having, over 4 days of playing time. 4 full days. 4 days. 4. That's 96 hours, y'all. 96 hours I've spent total playing that game. I haven't even reached 50% completion. That game's open world is ridiculous. It is a lot of fun. I fully recommend it. And that is why it's over the top gaming. Because its open world is something like Skyrim times 10, right? Okay, it's like Skyrim's world times 10. It really is. It's extremely difficult to get from one place to the next. Thank God you have an ability to do that as long as you've found the land already. You also have a grappling hook and a lot of extreme explosions. You get a ton of points for causing chaos. That's in fact the entire thing that's running the storyline. You can't unlock the next mission unless you've exploded enough things. That is over the top, and that is why it has achieved my 4th place out of a bunch of video games that I've played, so that's pretty prestigious. Next game, number 3. Bulletstorm. Now I'm going to be doing a Let's Play for this video game, specifically because its over-the-top nature is a very unique one. It gives you legitimate points. It gives you a point system, a multiplier system, based off of how much crazy ridiculous carnage you make. If you just shoot them, you get 10 points. But if you kick them, shoot them into like a cactus, and impale them on all the needles, you get a bunch of points. Why? Because that's creative and that's cool, right? So you get tons of different points for different situations. You get certain points situationally. For instance, when there's a helicopter that's down but its propeller is still spinning, you get points for kicking people into that helicopter, right? And it just spins their bodies around, blood flies everywhere, their flesh disintegrates, they're liquefied. It's ridiculous, but it's so much fun. And the death sequences are so brutal and so intense, but they are really, really, really cool. And so that's why I will be doing a Let's Play of that, hopefully, very soon. Okay. Number 2, second place. The Witcher 2. Now, I did a review of this game because I loved it so much. Its over-the-top nature is that it's not only extremely difficult, not nearly as difficult as Dark Souls, mind you, but still very difficult. That it also has ridiculous interactive story elements, that every choice changes something, that you could go through the whole game thinking you made the right decision, and then all of a sudden some sort of apocalyptic thing happens, all the mages are dead, your girlfriend's impaled on a spike, and you're like, where did I go wrong? The idea of it is that each decision has unforeseen consequences. Right? So it's not like you can just know exactly what's the right decision. And it's completely over the top in nature and its difficulty and its interactive storytelling. One moment you could be playing dice, the next moment you could be getting destroyed by some giant troll monster. It's pretty ridiculously balanced, really high up. It's as if it's on a peak, balancing itself on a flimsy board made out of fiberglass, right? But it somehow manages to make it work, and that is why it is my second place. However, the number 1 over-the-top video game, in my opinion, is Vanquished, made by Sega, a dying video game company. In a final attempt to make something amazing, they made Bayonetta and they made Vanquish. Vanquish is one of the best games I've ever played. I am so glad I bought it. In the game, you have this system called the Blade System. It essentially holographically laser images all of the guns that you could ever need. It can store 4 guns at a time, so you get to pick the guns on the way. But that's not what makes it amazing. What makes it amazing is the adrenaline boosters, the fact that you have a jetpack, the fact that you have rocket shoes and all these crazy abilities to maneuver and all that. It's pointless to just stay behind cover and shoot, right? Cover-based shooting is something that everybody is doing nowadays, and this game goes beyond it and says, hey, if you're a super soldier, you have the technology to just glide around on the rock and just, like, not on the rock, on the soil of this earth, and just plow through enemies with bullets, right? And you can do that. This is also something featured in Bulletstorm, but Vanquish does it in a way such that it's completely over the top, right? You go through and you have all these abilities. You can just waste enemies away with melee, which takes up all of your energy and then it regenerates. You can do so much, and the ridiculous amount of enemies that are charging you are actually equivalent to your ability and your power to take them down. This is a highly recommended game by me. I say if you don't have it, go out and get it now because it is the best over-the-top video game I have ever played. And I really thought about this list. I really thought about it. So I will leave links to buy these games in my description or whatever. But yeah, number 1, Vanquish. Number 2, The Witcher 2. Number 3, Bulletstorm. Number 4, Just Cause 2. And number 5, Dark Souls. I hope this was informative. I hope it might have helped you make a video game purchase. Sega really saved themselves when they made Vanquish and Bayonetta. Vanquish especially. I think Vanquish was way better than Bayonetta. That's just me. So yeah, that's my list. I hope you enjoyed it. Over-the-top video games are awesome. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Like, favorite, subscribe if you enjoyed or found this informative. This is Bodala signing out.